This is a public service announcement about earthquake safety and everything you need to know to keep your loved ones and your community safe. Earthquakes occur at tectonic plate boundaries when the stress on the edges overcome friction between the plates. Earthquakes can occur along a pre-existing fault or through rupture of a new fault. Seismic waves are generated by the sudden release of stress and energy and are the primary cause of damage. Body waves travel through solids while surface waves travel along the surface. Earthquakes are categorized by depth, location, slip direction, fault type, magnitude, and effects on humans. Earthquakes at convergent boundaries are the deepest and most powerful and tend to occur at subduction zones. Earthquakes at divergent boundaries tend to be shallow and weak, and at transform boundaries, earthquakes are shallow and powerful. The Cascadia subduction zone is a 1,000-kilometer-long fault stretching from British Columbia to California. The Juan de Fuca plate is subducted beneath the North American continent at this zone. The last large earthquake along the subduction zone was in January of 1700, and it has a recurrence interval of about 400 to 600 years. Large and frequent earthquakes and lack of smaller slips suggest that the CSZ may be more strongly locked than other subduction zones.
A high-amplitude gravity anomaly is a fundamental characteristic of Seattle's fault location. This anomaly means there are structures under the Earth's surface at the Seattle Fault that are of abnormal density, which is found through various geophysical studies and necessary in understanding the type of earthquake produced by the fault and what implications it will have. The intertidal wave-cut platform bordering southern Bainbridge Island to Alki Point in West Seattle is also important in earthquake characterization, as it is evidence that there was a single earthquake in the area that occurred around 1100 years ago. Also, through the use of light detection and ranging studies, one side of the fault near Bainbridge Island was found to have moved vertically in respect to the other side, called a fault scarp, which was analyzed to show that there were around 3 surface rupturing earthquakes in the past 2,500 years at that spot. Finally, there is more evidence of another earthquake that occurred at the fault around 6,900 years ago. All this can be compiled to infer a recurrence interval of around 1,000 years for large earthquakes at the Seattle Fault. The Washington Military Department's Emergency Management Division modeled an earthquake at the fault, which hypothesized a 7.2 magnitude earthquake based off of a 40-mile or 63-kilometer-long rupture at the northernmost section of the Seattle Fault Zone. This model earthquake scenario is a shallow or crustal earthquake, which typically does more damage than a deeper earthquake of similar magnitude, as the seismic waves lose more energy the more they travel before reaching the surface.
This could cause a tsunami, liquefaction of sediments, and landslides. This would lead to a high number of people injured, damage to thousands of buildings and all of the affected counties, economic losses, and power outages, just to name a few. How to prepare starts with storing canned food, bottled water, batteries, a first aid kit, an emergency radio, and other supplies in a safe, easily accessible place. Have a safety plan with your friends and family. Once an earthquake starts, you must act quickly. Earthquake-proof your house. Bolt down heavy furniture. Know your risk. After the shaking stops, what other events may impact you. During the quake, shelter under a table, in a doorway, or against an inside wall. Stay away from glass or anything heavy that may move, such as furniture. Do not use elevators, as electricity may go out. If you're outside, get away from buildings, power lines, or anything that may fall. If you are driving, stop off the road and stay inside your car.